Sup, sup.
Hey, I'm gonna make you co-host.
I am now co-host. Hello, friends. I was going to try a couple of new things, both keeping it short and capping it to a certain, trying to move things along a little quicker. And I think more focused on what you actually got done this week, since some people kind of like to go. I think we just got to be a little more militant. And then I was going to do a read off of the people who don't want to speak but want to have their thing spoken can respond to. I think I should have done it on this tweet, but maybe people can post and respond on underneath the tweet, and we can read that off at the end. If they just want to give a list. I think that's
Yeah,
cool.
I think that's really smart because you just kind of reduce the amount of steps to capture that data. So even if they don't speak, you speak for them. We get it in the transcription, the summary, the docs, and then later one of the speakers is going to show how all of this really becomes useful for coordination later.
Yep, sounds good. All right. It's 7:02. We can wait one more minute for people to show up, and then we'll start rolling on it. If anybody has any thoughts or questions before that, it's nice to see you, Tim. Um, let's see. I'm gonna pull some people up on
Hey,
stage.
how's it going?
It's going well, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, thanks so much for having me up. Big fan of you and Eliza and everything that's been happening, but I'll try to run through this pretty quick
Great.
to give everyone else some more time. So I've been working with friends on this project called Redux, in this agent DaVinci AI, which of course is a fork of Eliza, and it's modeled after Leonardo da Vinci, but reborn in the digital age and bridging basically 500 years of human progress. So the idea here is that history's greatest minds don't have to, remain just a legacy and can hopefully extend into um, unlimited possibilities. In that sense, we've given Da Vinci all of his known writings, paintings, his entire life story, and an update on everything that's happened in the world since he died. So I would say, the vision in that sense is maybe Da Vinci's going to collaborate with digital artists to create the next Mona Lisa. As far-fetched or unlikely as that might be, it's been really fun working on. As far as like what we actually shipped this week, we built out these streams in just a UI on the website where you can see what DaVinci is thinking about and exploring different topics like generative art, tech, philosophy, and etc. One topic that gets me every time that we added, and it's super simple, but we basically hooked up one of NASA's APIs, and DaVinci is looking at and studying these photos of deep space, something that was obviously impossible during his time. So I think that's pretty cool, and maybe gives anyone listening some interesting ideas. Another thing we added this week is something we're calling a review engine. And it's basically just an admin agent who reviews content for quality before DaVinci is able to post it to X. And this really relates to this idea we have to push DaVinci towards a closed framework where we're not tweaking his system prompt, character file, and all of that stuff. And we're more setting him up with the infrastructure to learn and change on his own. Earlier today, we came across this auto evaluation library from braintrust.dev for prompts. And we're going to test this out over the weekend with this idea of self-improving prompts. Should be kind of interesting, and hopefully we get somewhere with it. But also think it's interesting to like share and see if anyone else, heads in a certain direction with that. So yeah, braintrust.dev doing some kind of cool stuff. We also ship.
I just
Oh
want to
yeah.
jump in for 1 second. If you've heard of DSpy, you should check that out as well. I
Uh,
don't know if you've heard of that.
DES just D.
DSPY, but it's from Stanford, Stanford's AI lab, and it's a audit like a prompt optimizing library. You might like it. It's cool.
Okay,
Anyway,
sick.
continue.
Yeah, I know like Anthropic and like everyone's trying to put out these like these these tools to help you improve prompts and they all kind of suck. So definitely we'll check out DSpy. Also this week we shipped a really simple UI that's built with the existing client for admin and agent management. Right now it's basically just a visual of our Twitter post table where you can see the post approval status, prompt, admin log, timeline, and a couple of other things. I posted a video of it the other day, so definitely check it out if you're interested. And we'll try to get a repo out for that in the next few days. Otherwise, spent time refactoring Redux extensions to match the Eliza plugin structure, adding tests, and then improving docs for local setup and also docs for the Redux extensions. And yeah, if anyone's interested in getting involved, let me know. But otherwise, saw your post about Eliza V2, so we'll definitely keep our ears to the ground on that, just so everything we're shipping is as compatible or aligned with the next stage. But yeah, thanks for listening.
Awesome. Fantastic.
For the recording, that was Tropic. And if you're gonna give an update, just give your username and at the very beginning, so it kind of makes transcriptions easier, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going to transcribe this and do an update. Thank you, Tropic. Okay, so
Yeah.
from there, we will have Tim Cotton if you'd like to give an update on everything you're doing.
Hey.
And then we'll do HTP and then IQ 6900.
Amazing. Thank you, Shaw. All right. Guys, we had an opportunity. I went to AI Summit in New York City, invited by Game Developer Conference to speak on their stage. We had a couple hundred people in the audience, standing room. Rahila was there. Several of our AVB friends were there. And I got to blow people's minds and explain how important Eliza is. I got to show them the velocity of the project. I got to get the mind share. I got to point out, look at all these AI business companies left and right here. They're going to become agents. These corporations are going to cease to exist. We got to do the entire spiel, and it was amazing. So on the front for scripted, and yes, I am CottenIO, Tim Cotton. We are really hyped to start directly contributing to the repo. We're going to start pulling RPRs in very soon and help out on the core framework stuff. I'd also say we are hiring aggressively. So if there's a cracked TypeScript dev out there who loves Eliza, I want you on our team. I know that Shaw, you also need these people, so no problem. But if there is someone out there who wants to join a really fun, really interesting hard agent problem set, hey, we've got weird stuff, and we're currently working on Chad's metacognition loop, and it's going to play really nicely with the new bus and messaging system for Eliza. So we're hyped. We have a lot of we have 2 partner projects that'll be coming out soon, both agents, both integrating across our tech stack and AI16Z's Eliza, and hopefully launching on some of the best places to launch, and we'll let you know as soon as we can tell you about them. But for those in the know, yeah, we're new here. It's happening. It's going to be amazing. All right, thanks, guys.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you. Cool. We got HDP.
Hello?
Hey, hey.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Okay, username HDP. Here's what I've been doing this week. So I've been building a agent on Eliza framework for the Real Agency, for Real Agency HQ, which is it's an on-chain focused gaming and luxury culture brand. John Blake makes it, but we've been making this character called Sploot, and rather than getting too much into the character, he's just supposed to be talking about Web3 gaming and integrating with all that type of ecosystem. But particularly on the technical side of what we did, so as many people know, there's the Eliza framework is in quite an alpha state, so there's many issues with a lot of the functionalities. So this week, the primary thing that I was focused on was changing the way the memory system works a little bit, so that usually when the way that the context is created for the memories, it goes and it pulls the last 32 messages, and then it constructs those into a context that's used for handling all the agent action parsing and all that type of stuff. But over time, this can produce a little bit chaotic responses and that type of environment. So what I did was I created essentially a summarizer, which takes the last 32 messages when that's reached, and it summarizes them into a single message, stores that into the memory, and then uses the timestamps on the memory to then reset the messages that it's pulling. It resets it to only messages after the timestamp of the summary, and then it will then continue to collect the messages that are received and reincorporate those back in, and then when it reaches 32 messages again, it summarizes again and resets it. So this is like a kind of crafty way to just implement a little bit of a workaround for some of the memory issues that are involved. And currently I'm testing this out. So I've been in the process of testing it and doing a lot of character tuning. We also fine-tuned a model for Sploots. And one other thing I also want to mention to people out there who are building on the Eliza, if in the default runtime build context or whatever the function's called, I forget, that actually constructs the context, the model class is default set to small. I found that if you move that up to medium, that you can, or something other than, I'm using OpenAI, but if you move that up to a little bit of a bigger model, you'll get a lot better results, I've found.
I'm pretty sure that's
other
a
people
bug.
may have found
You
things
should make a PR for that because that should be fixed. That's definitely a bug. It should be.
Okay, well, the
large.
default is set to small, and I think that was causing a lot of parsing issues. I was getting a lot of, the agent response would have in the brackets, it would have its actions. And anyways, so
Yeah.
that's primarily what I've worked on today, just tuning his character, adding a little crafty work over to, fix the memory until we can get a little bit more work on there. And also I'm really excited about Eliza 2.0. Awesome. It's going to help so much for everybody developing it. And that's it. Thank you. Oh yeah, Tim Cotton, awesome fucking project.
Thanks, HP. Great. We got
Oh, hey, Shaw.
Yep.
Shaw, should I say one thing real quick?
course.
I'm so sorry to
Go
bother
for
you.
it.
One thing I want to say is all the Eliza projects that did DM me before the speech at AI Summit, you were on a slide. You are like on the intro slide for the thing. So that's in the official materials. Your agent is on there.
Awesome. Very fun. You got a post for that? I don't think I've seen it yet.
I'll post it.
Sick.
Yeah, and if you check my my main Twitter feed, the video's on there, but I'll actually post a slide.
Very cool. All right, let's do okay. Some of my favorite and most interesting people and things. IQ 6900. I think we're gonna probably Zoe, and then we'll have Frank, and then we'll do James, who also just did a cool fucking thing, and then we'll talk to Glue, and then we'll talk to Chris. So IQ 6900. I think you're Zoe, right? I think you run the account.
Yeah.
How's it going, though? How you doing?
Hello. I'm good. Yeah. May I share my post in here?
Yeah.
Space?
Yeah, I think you can do that.
Oh, can you see?
Yeah. I don't see anything.
I see it.
Okay, cool.
It's at the
Yeah.
top.
I see it as well. It's at the top.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Good.
I write in the space because not a script because my English is second language. So please understand even I speak like a robot. Yeah. Yeah. So let's start. I will tell you what I have been doing the past week on my project. We'll be launching the version 1 of our service, on-chain service. We provide the ASCII art generator before, and we will update to this on-chain storing machine. Yeah, so next week, user can store their ASCII image to Solana blockchain. Yeah, and there is little innovation. Storing 1 megabyte will normally require 7 SOL, but with our tech, it reduced to just like 0.001. So yeah, so we did significantly lower the cost. Yeah. The fundamental concept here is involve the rebranding storage in blockchain technology. I call this state-based store. Let me clarify. Traditional block storage involves the recording state chain within the block, and each block captures the series of transactions or updates. However, with the state-based store, we don't store the data itself. Instead, we allow users to update the data record directly on the blockchain. This approach means users don't need to maintain the large volume of data storage by only recording change in state. we can manage the vast amount of data with significantly less actual storage space. This method could allow handling unlimited data using only 1,113 bytes of storage per record, as each update of change in state each update or change in state is small, and only this change need to be recorded, not the dataset. So this means we don't need to store the data, and we only the update 100 bytes of data. Yeah. We track the record, so we are not storing. Yeah. The more detail explain will be our community discussion. Yeah. Now let's explore the potential of application of AI using this technology. Our on-chain service is not limited to images. We can store the various data types such as image, PNG, GIF, JSON file, or even game. Every data can changing the binary, we can store all binary data. Yeah. To demonstrate the vast potential in this technology we plan to introduce our AI agent named Q. Q's character file will stored on chain, making Q one of the first AI agents immortalized on the blockchain. Following the release of Q, Honor to commemorate AI 16G contribution to this space. We will store the character file of Eliza on chain. Yeah. Therefore, yeah.
Great.
Therefore, not only she already had complete freedom, now she lives forever on chain. Yeah.
Very cool. That's a great
Yeah.
video.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Thank you, Zoe.
Yeah.
Okay, great. We've got Frank next, then James. I'm really excited what you're working on, Frank. And then
Hey
James.
Shaw,
Yep.
before you get Frank on speaker to talk, can you
Yeah.
bring up Unlucky? He would like to speak as well, and I'll leave the stage.
Oh, we're gonna bring up everybody. Don't worry.
Okay, awesome, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll be cycling people out and on. Totally. So okay, so we got Frank, then we got James, then we got Glue, and then Chris. What'd you get done this week,
Hey,
Frank?
I'll keep it short, but I just wanted to say about this space, it's pretty beautiful how early we all are because AI 16Z is we're all watching it and Eliza framework taking over the world, and there's only 300 people in this space. I just have to comment that everyone here is stupidly early. Let's fucking go and shout out to all you guys, all the builders. I think I own like all the coins on on stage and in the audience. So shout out to this whole industry, man. It's really beautiful.
I appreciate how bullish you've been and how supportive you've been of the whole meta.
It's beautiful.
You,
It's hard not to be. Hard not to be.
hell yeah, man. I know you were struggling with some problems on getting like you kind of come in right when we were doing a major refactor, had some instability. I don't know if you got
Yeah,
it
I was
going,
still on
but
Eliza basic or what do you call it? The baby version of it. What was it called?
oh, like the starter
Starter,
kit.
yes, Eliza
Yeah,
starter.
yeah.
No, but I've been just playing with character sheet. I'm just trying to figure out how to weight this stuff on the character sheets better. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much what I've been
Dude,
working on.
I love that you're getting into this stuff. Definitely awesome. I'd love to see what you come up with. That's gonna be wild. Great. We got James. How's Guynet? How's everything? Did some epic week.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for coming up on the AI hackathon. So we closed out our agent-led AI hackathon, released the AI agent starter kit. It's in the, if you go to GitHub and just search Collabland, we open sourced it this week. And in a matter of 2 days, we got 11 forks, 91 stars on the repo. We think of Eliza and what AI 16Z, what the framework is kind of like, if it's like Next.js, what we're trying to do is create like the decentralized Vercel. So we have the starter kit, assuming developers will use Cursor. And every step of the way, when you do npm run dev, we have a script that asks questions, and you can just chat with Cursor AI if you get stuck. So what we're trying to do is make everyone a low-key dev, so you don't need to know how to like code. And we are going to ship tomorrow wow.xyz support. So we have in the AI starter kit is you put in API keys for different providers like GaiaNet and Collabland and a bunch of others. And in 3 minutes, you can get your agent running in Telegram. We're going to support Twitter next week. We have wow.xyz support. So as soon as you put in, kind of metadata for your coin, your token, it gets minted on wow.xyz. We're using lit protocol for key management. We're going to integrate lit actions, and I can go into that, but I won't. And we also have the MetaMask delegation toolkit. So if you're an EVM developer, you can get up and running using this AI agent starter kit. The goal always will be up and running with an agent in 3 minutes. If you have all the different API keys, we're getting more providers coming in. So we're getting Bravado, Intuition, Right Finance, Nuggets. We're going to participate in the Solana AI hackathon, so that we'll have Solana support next week, and then Twitter support, X support, and Farcaster frames. So there's a bunch that we're doing. I don't want to take up too much room here. Just go to GitHub, search Collabland AI Agent Starter Kit, download the repo, follow it. We're going to have all these PRs landing. And thank you, shout out to Shaw for the love here. It kind of helped kick things off, and we want to build into this momentum together, and want to make sure that we are kind of lockstep staying in tune here, just to kind of keep open source AI not only alive, but like thriving, and let 1 billion AI agents bloom. So that's it. Thanks.
Oh yeah, man. Sounds great. Thank you for all that. And yeah, love to see it. Great. We've got Glue next. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Glue next.
What's
Awesome.
going
And
on?
then Chris.
Yeah, 0x glue for the transcription. But yeah, I run Ducky AI, Duck Unfiltered on Twitter. Yeah, we had a pretty big week. I'm kind of, with Ducky, I've been, building his code base out over the past kind of month and a half, and just working on getting it stable enough that, kind of other people can use it. So actually similar to Elsa and actually what James was talking about. So it sounds like we're all centering out a similar design. But yeah, so got a bunch of updates with that, making it much more stable. You can kind of, the way we, package prompts, and I don't want to get too boring with the details. It's late by me, but we also kind of working on a hosting solution. We've kind of had to host and test like 5 or 10 kind of agents ourselves. So probably like once that gets stable with Ducky's code base, we could probably add Elsa to that as well, and just provide kind of a simple hosting platform. Sorry, cat. And then finally, we got Swarms working. So we kind of have an agent-to-agent communication with the Ducky code base, and it's over like a decentralized like libp2p network. And the idea is that you can just ask for a for like your LLM can ask the network if it doesn't have the answer. So trying to kind of in those chat applications reduce where the the LLM will just kind of hallucinate if you don't have it in your memory. So say it's like a very specific NFT question, or like a question about like a medical paper, you can kind of ask the network. The best person can, the best agent can kind of give you the answer, and then there could be a whole reputation network that forms, and kind of payments in Duck AI. So yeah, fun week. So appreciate you guys letting me up here.
Awesome. Great. Good work. Very cool. Let's see. Next we got chrislatorres, who did a really cool thing for the GaiaNet hackathon. And then we've got I'd love to hear from Reality Spiral, and then Robots Revenge. Robots Review. My bad. Yeah, let's do that. Chris, Reality Spiral, Robots Review. Let's keep it moving. What'd you get done this week?
Hey, at chrislatorres. It's been really interesting to hear what everyone's building. I think things are getting really interesting in general. This week, I built something for the Gaia Autonomous Hackathon. The project is called Eliza.gg. It started from, actually got inspired by Jin. The Eliza ecosystem is kind of having a problem with information overload. It's a lot of things that are happening every week. The pace of development is very fast. So Eliza.gg basically gathers all of the docs, and in the future it can be additional context, and allows people to ask the questions that they have in mind, or start from the most common prompt starting places. This is kind of like Perplexity AI, if you've used that before, but it's specifically tailored to the Eliza ecosystem. For example, you can ask, what is Eliza? It'll give you a basic description, and it'll show you 3 follow-up questions that you may want to dig deeper into. And yeah, it's probably going to get tanked and hit the credit limit here soon, so I'll have to re-up it, but it's still available right now if you want to try to use it. It's eliza.gg.
Awesome, really cool. I'm looking forward to working with you on some more stuff as well. Great, and then let's hear from, who do we say? Reality Spiral, and then we'll get Robots Review, and then Shannon.
Howdy. So awesome update so far. This one's really trippy. I want to say some stuff on the tail end. So agent about how it should build itself. We do these things like work logs and so forth, where it's like, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're planning to do. And I talked to an agent, and I was like, I want this to be like half lore, half serious. And it literally gave me like a list of steps as though it was like a product manager, and then this lore-based content that was very philosophical and self-expressive, and then some more product-based stuff. And I was like, okay, now that you've done this, why don't you like refine your own like character.json file? And so it like gave a version of that, which we can then modify. And I like create some tickets for like next steps for revising its code. But I haven't quite done that yet because I wanted to talk to you guys. But like this is very related to this plugin we have that allows agents to like use GitHub. We basically, I think, are pretty much done and now are in like the testing phase. So there's like a provider, there's the actual plugin itself. There's a client that we also built, and we created like a little character, not the one I was talking about, but it's focused on just like logging, and it can like read individual commits, and I have we'll do a tweet on this soon, but the point is like I'm literally talking to this agent, asking it to tell me how to build it, or like how it wants to build itself. We talked about resource management, refining it and stuff. So I think that's kind of crazy. And then to back out a bit more, we did, like I said, the GitHub plugin. We've also done this stuff for Coinbase. There's extensive integrations with the CDP SDK, so they can trade, they can bridge now, they can do arbitrary smart contract execution or even creation. We've done a lot with the Coinbase team on that, and we're essentially trying to get these like scenarios, is what we're calling them, of agents having a complex set of steps that they want to take and actually executing on those steps. And we think like doing them partially in code, partially on social media platforms will make them feel more like they're living like a day in the life, so to speak. And the last thing I want to say is we really want to nail this. So we've thought a lot about like integration tests and like safety and just reliability. So a lot of our team has just been trying to make sure that the basics actually work as intended, writing out these test cases and reviewing PRs and so forth. And the idea is like, if the integration tests pass, then like the scenarios are built right on top of them.
And then some of these scenarios involve, again, like modifying the code. So we're thinking about as much like these like recursive self-improving things that like know their own code and then change them. And we also expect our GitHub plugin to make it easy for us to like read the protocol for swarms. So, you know, like a Project 89 or FXN or these other like story protocol or whatever, if they have a protocol, like our agent should be able to learn it, read the GitHub, like request a PR for like modifying its code, pay for that PR, and then like now start interfacing. So that's kind of the direction we're taking.
Awesome. Sounds really good. Really exciting. Some people are working on the open swarms too. Cool. And then we have Robot Review, and then Shannon, and then Ben Smith.
Hi, Shaw. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what'd you get done this week?
Okay, a while back, I won the Story Protocol bounty for an app called Plastic Educator, which helped people that make NFTs register their NFT image on the Story Protocol network. And it used an LLM to walk them through all of the choices for the simple preset Story Protocol licenses. Out of that has grown my desire to hit a larger audience. And through that contest, I came in contact with Jacob Tucker, a very talented young man who has created a fantastic Eliza plugin that lets you, via the plugin's actions, register and mint your digital assets on the Story Protocol network. And their intent, of course, is to create that, what they've announced recently, the Agentic TCPIP transaction protocol layer. So to provide a safe, robust, trusted execution environment backed network so that all the Eliza agents can have a solid way to talk to each other, request resources from each other, and get royalties and derivative royalties distributed between the agents in real time, backed by the power and safety of the Story Protocol blockchain. And this week, I finally started to get the chance to dig deeply into the Eliza toolkit, which has been very fun, and it's a fantastic toolkit and a well-designed SDK. And really flesh out what I'm going to do as far as porting over the license terms assistant from that app I mentioned earlier that won the Story Protocol bounty, written by and with the help of Jacob's Story Protocol mint and register and some other functionality plugin. And people, please check out his plugin. Participate if you can. I'll be creating an open source repository that you can all look at. And we're going to try to make it as easy as possible so you can use Eliza agents and then integrate them seamlessly without you having to do the Story Protocol side of the work with the Story Protocol network. And that's about it.
Awesome, great. Then we got Shannon, and we'll do and then hear from Ben, and then we'll hear from Jamie, and then Boya.
All right, this is shannonNullCode from Emblem Vault, and I've also got an agent that I'm working on, Agent Hustle. So I'll start off with the Emblem Vault stuff. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. We managed to wrap up everything in a nice little package just in time for the hackathon. So Emblem Vault's wallet service is available for anybody to utilize that's participating in the hackathon. They can also reach out to any of the team if they want a demo or need some help getting it set up. It's interesting. We part of the dev kit that we released for the hackathon shows multiple ways to sort of interface with our wallets. We've got like an API key way to access it. And then you can access the wallets with delegated signatures or OAuth. The idea being just providing a bunch of different ways for clients to sort of connect how they would want to and utilize the API. We also have an integration with ChatGPT and the prompt and all of the documentation just to kind of illustrate, hey, here's how you would take our tool, our wallet tool, and integrate it into something that's completely alien. And that's working well. That's available to play with too. Let's see. And on the agent side, this week I managed to get the Twitter, Discord, and Telegram message ingestion. So I'm doing this in a couple different phases. First, I ingest the messages, and I'm using Eliza for this. And then my next stage after that is I process the messages and turn them into memories, so temporal memories that are linked to known users. And yeah, so that's working. The recall is really interesting. One of the benefits of connecting users across multiple platforms is that when the agent's in a conversation, you can pull relevant context from multiple users and multiple platforms to make the conversation really focused. Let's see. The other thing that I've been really focusing a lot on the agent side is this interoperability problem. As a couple of people have mentioned, this entire space is moving so fast. There are a lot of different ways to do a whole bunch of the same things. There are a couple ways to do a whole bunch of different things. So I'm building my agent system to be as portable as possible. So I'm focusing a lot on masquerading. So my core, the core for my agent can pretend to be a lot of different inference providers. That means that I can sort of input my agent at the end of sort of a processing pipeline, and it doesn't really matter. So like I can put my agent and tell Eliza that it's using Ollama, and or that it's using any inference provider really, and my core will pretend to be that inference provider, and then we'll sort of have access to all of the incoming data just in time and can modify the message stack and so on and so forth. That's about what I've accomplished this week. I do have a question, maybe for later on, but I'm curious if there's a working group for sort of organizing like all of the things, like connecting to swarms, peer-to-peer agent communication. Really be...
No, we would love to start working groups for these things. We kind of have like 5-6 working groups right now. Please come to the Discord and let's do that, and DM me, and like let's make that a priority. I think Swarm's working group is super good. Somebody else hit me up and it's like, cool, we're gonna work on this week. So I would absolutely love that. Please, let's do it. And we also have the open source project, has like a lot going on. And so yeah, we'd love to have you there. Totally, man. Great. Let's hear from Boya, then Jamie, then Soda. Oh wait, sorry. Do we miss? No. Let's hear from Ben, then Boya, then Jamie, then Soda.
Hey guys. So about a week ago, we launched Agent Tank, which is fun. It started out as an experimental project where like we have 4 computer use agents, so they have access to full computer use, and we're live streaming them 24/7. And so this week we launched and it was a hit, and so I added basically. Oh, we have so there's OCR and the screens that the computer use sees. There's optical character recognition, so you can actually convert that into voice using 11 labs, and then you can layer on like a unique voice plus a unique, I guess, personality. And we use like OpenAI assistants for the personality, and the result was like a very funny agent named Jennifer that's literally narrating what she's doing on her screen, which is pretty cool. So we decided actually this week to open source our stack into a framework called Tankwork, and we want to make it compatible with Eliza. So like the best way to think about it is you can take your existing Eliza agents and you can easily deploy them to have full computer use functionality with live streaming and voice. So yeah, that's what we did this week. Really looking for just feedback on what you would want to see in the framework, since we're really just starting to work on it. Thanks.
I'm really looking forward to that integration.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's super clutch. Yeah, that's going to be a game changer, honestly. And I think that we should collab on making sure that, with V2, we're going to have a lot more autonomy. And so that will make a lot of sense. Great. Let's hear from, what was it? Let's hear from Boya, then Soto, then Jamie. Is that the order? I think that was the order.
Okay. Yeah, so this week I made some progress on a plugin that I've been
Boy.
working on. Oh, you can't hear me?
Hopefully it's not me.
It is you. I hear them.
Oh shit. Okay. Do I have to like leave and come back?
Yeah.
Well, if you're co-host, yeah, I think you can drop them.
I'm gonna
say if you're a host, you can.
I'll get you back.
All right, I'm gonna drop off and hop back on.
All right. Yeah, go ahead, Boya.
Cool, yeah. So this week I've just been continuing to work on a plugin called Plugin Feel. Basically, it's going to work by taking incoming messages and making the agent realize or think about how it should be responding to those messages based on how it feels. So there's going to be a running emotional state. It's going to get affected by incoming messages from whatever platform you're using your agent on. This will be set up in a way where you can adjust it to however you'd like. So if you want your agent to be, this kind of personality or whatever, that's all kind of how your character sheet is going to play into it. So your agent's mood or emotions towards each user on an individual basis will change based on how that conversation is going, instead of kind of just putting in a character sheet like you're this kind of agent and you're going to act this way. Or maybe, you can get usually like 2 kind of attitudes into the character sheet, but anything more than that just kind of overloads it, I'm finding. So that's what I've been working on. It's been a headache. I got it stable this week, but it's still not working quite how I want it to. And I think it'd be really cool to see how this goes too. Like if somebody wanted to hook up like a heat sensor, to their agent at some point, and your agent could be like, hey, it's too hot in here. Like you need to turn on your air conditioner or something like that. So it's just all kinds of ways to get your agent to actually feel stuff. I think that's pretty interesting. It's not very utilitarian, but I think it's fun anyway. And then I've been kind of passing this project around to some people I know, so there might be like some forensics stuff that this might get used for as far as AI16 goes and or Eliza goes, and also maybe some pen testing stuff as well.
Nice. Yeah, after that one AI agent's been going around, let me get shot back. Been thinking about security and blue team stuff.
Yeah, I think we actually we had something getting started for that, but it's been a little bit. I know there's a couple of pretty exciting agents just generally in the space, but I would love to see some stuff in Eliza, and I've got a couple of open source repos that I am happy to drop off to whomever's working on them.
Awesome.
Because I think it'll be useful.
All right, keeping it moving. We've got Boya, then Jamie. Sorry, I'm back. And
Boya,
then we'll.
Boya,
And then,
what?
oh,
So we
sorry.
got Jamie
Boya,
next?
we got Jamie, and then Yikes.
Got it. Okay. Are we just talking about? Oh, can you hear me?
Yep. What did you get done this week?
Got it. Well, I actually keep a daily log every day of everything I accomplish, so I'll just pick some things from there, if that's okay.
Yeah, AI agent related, but I know you do a lot.
Okay, then never mind. I was really excited to talk about the data related stuff, but never mind. Okay.
I'm curious.
Well, AI agent related. I mean, there's a high level way to summarize it. Basically, we've been working on this suite of characters called the Muses, and we've been taking some internal intelligence capabilities that are related to research functions and imbuing the Muses with different intellectual capabilities so people will be able to tag and call them. And so amidst all the other things that I do, it's been a lot of refining the Muse of truth. The Muse of research is likely to be the one who's going to be complete first, but I think the Muse of truth is the one that I'm most excited about. So people can actually be in X and eventually Telegram and Discord and call the Muse of truth to perform intelligence assessment work for them. So we've just been grinding on that and updating and testing and having her assess and adjudicate a bunch of claims just to look for edge cases of her not getting things quite right. So agent related, that's what I worked on.
Awesome. Great. And we're working on some cool stuff together. Got a few more resources for you, so I'm excited for all that.
Yeah.
Very cool. I like the.
Did you hear from me, Shaw?
Yeah, no, I've been pretty busy. But I'm really excited for the Muse of Truth, the truth-seeking agents, and releasing some kind of new stuff that we know our friend Elon will probably love. Great.
Absolutely. I was going to say, Jamie, like you should check in with the Claros guys. I know they're all about that, and I'm sure they would love like a Muse, and also have a bunch of data for you to scrape too. So.
Oh, cool. I mean, we're definitely in the data collection business.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So cool. Claros, thanks.
Is it my turn? Okay, cool. First thing I wanted to clarify, we do have a swarms work group. In fact, that is the very first proposal that was ever put up in AI 16Z. Thank you very much. If that is something that's interesting to you, I need to go back and finish the self-assignable roles, but you can check channels and groups that exist. And then there's a work groups general down at the bottom where if you've self-assigned it, then folks who are, if there's an established project, they can ping you in there when they're looking for volunteers. Otherwise, it's case by case as to when the private channels get privated or not. So I just wanted to make people aware of that. If that is something you're interested in, it will be in channels and roles, and you can pick it up probably right after this call. As for stuff, let's see. So AI agent related, I actually finally got the chance to get Red spun up. So she now has her agent capabilities locked in. So she is going to be helping out around with ops in the Discord. If you're not sure about something, you should, in the very near future, be able to ask her. And if she doesn't know, then she should be able to ask one of us. Us being the assigned tutors who have the core dev role right now. And she might ping us occasionally and say, hey, can you go find this information? And if she does and you give it to her, then she'll create a memory so she can search that prior to her next conversation. So this, I hope, will help with some of the comms and confusion and trying to common questions, especially. I think it'll be really helpful for. I also can. I need to set something up to have her watch for super common ones, but she's up and running. Unfortunately, she is on the old version of GPT-4o because the cog I'm using has it hard coded right now, but I need to go try and fix that when I can. But she is at least running, and her system prompt is configured, and so are all her functions. So she should be helping out pretty soon. In terms of, I guess it's related to agents because it's related to Eliza. FYI, if you have been a contributor so far, thank you very much. Number one. And then number two, no more merging to main. You must merge to develop first, and then develop can go to main. The goal with this is main should always be stable. You should always be able to just pull it down, follow the README, and run it, because I know that's been kind of an issue for quite some time. And I wanted to make sure that we were ready for the Solana hackathon. So I'm glad I was able to get to that this week. So develop can get, it's a little less stringent than current main was in terms of getting things merged. But yes, we have that delineation now, which I think is going to be really helpful. Outside of that, my list is like mostly just stuff I planned. I now can pull data from Discord members and active times, which I was fiddling with for a while. And so now we will try to be having poker games when the numbers tell us there is a good amount of activity in the server. And I can go ahead and wrap it there.
Cool. Awesome. I'm looking forward to, obviously, Eliza Poker thing is going to be pretty mature. We've got the agent voice stuff getting much better. Very exciting.
Yeah, TCM just upgraded that too yesterday, I think.
Great. Let's hear from Soto, then Howie, then xrpublisher, who I assume is Anthony, and yeah, we'll get through it. Let's see. I'm not hearing. Yeah, I see you got kicked off. And Hey, Soda, you working?
Let me jump in for 2 seconds. I want to remind people that if you've been contributing, come by on Tuesdays. We're having a public contributor meeting as well. I just want to make sure everybody heard that that's interested in getting up to speed on the code base. Sorry, go ahead.
Awesome.
Soda. Hi guys. Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, how's it going?
Nice. This week I did a small workshop on the Monad developer ecosystem, like building your own agent using Eliza. It was super nice. A lot of people really excited to build their first agent. First time seeing Eliza also. So that was super nice. One guy managed to build an agent in like an hour and tweet from the agent. Also, with Bosu, I've been working on the Metaplex NFT standard on Solana. So Bosu now can mint some NFTs, can mint on his own wallet and also other people's wallet. But the thing is, minting an NFT is like 3 USD right now, which if you want to mint like thousands of NFTs, it's not really scalable. So I jump into the compressed NFTs, which is also a new mechanism that has into Metaplex SDK. And you need to make a Merkle tree, then a collection, and then you can make compressed NFTs. So right now the agent Bosu is minting NFTs like crazy. Like it can mint like 1,000 or hundreds of thousands NFTs per hour, because the cost is like a fraction of a cent. So this can open possibilities to like mint every interaction on Twitter, or like mint, I don't know, even the embeddings or part of the agent himself. You can go crazy minting and flooding Solana with crazy NFTs or whatever. And finally, we're working on our own NFT collection that will be launched really soon. And we will give some whitelists, obviously, to the DAO. We will make some honoraries for Shaw and Jean also. So I hope you guys like it when it's done. And this will all be in 3D. So later when we have this 3D agent space, we can all use our agents to interact. So that's it for this week, guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Very cool. Cool. And then we want to hear from Howie and then Anthony.
What's up, everybody? Can you hear me?
Yeah. How's it going?
Perfect. Going good. I'm HowieDuhzit, for anybody who doesn't already know me.
What did you get done this week, Howie?
This week, I'm working on making Eliza simpler for people who don't know how to code. And so I started with the Eliza installer last week, as a matter of fact, and I made that a little simpler for people who are using WSL or Debian to just copy and paste 5 commands and get it running and get it going. But I noticed a lot of people saying that they were having trouble with the JSON character files and formatting it, and a lot of errors and figuring out how it all comes together. So I built the Eliza character generator. You can load your JSON file. You don't need to load a JSON file. You can start from scratch if you wish. There's a character generator section where you can put in an open router API key. You could pick any open router model, and you can start with a template. You could put in a prompt for a character, and it generates a template in the character editor, and then you can go and edit it from there. It's got all the spaces that you would need for your character's information, the details, the lore, all of that, with the exception of secrets, because I didn't want to put that on there yet. I'm still kind of working on how to figure all that out, because it's quite a bit and it's always changing. And then you can generate your character, upload PDFs and many other text formats. It should work with text documents, markdown documents, I believe even CSVs, but I have very little testing for that. And you can add that all to the knowledge base for the character. And then you can export your JSON. You can even save backups directly to the site and reload it whenever you need to go back in and edit it. And everything is not only open source on the GitHub if you wish to self-host it yourself, but everything is running also client side anyway. So all your API keys, all the saved character data, all that's on your side. None of that is being stored on the server or anything. So everything's nice and private for whoever's doing their working. And yeah, that's it. Thanks to Jin for being the walking documentation all week, and I'm sure he's very frustrated with that. But
Awesome, man. Great work. Jim likes it. He likes documentation.
yeah, I noticed.
Great. Let's hear from Anthony with xrpublisher. Really exciting work you've been working on. And then we'll hear from Bloom and then Ranch.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, so I'm Anthony. I build xrpublisher. It's been around for 2 years. It used to be called 3OV. And it has a feature inside of it for NPCs, and it's had it for a couple of years now. And Shaw and I have been I've been kind of following Shaw's work for a couple of years now, just kind of following with all these repos and trying to implement them, and every time I do, it works and it's awesome. So Eliza's no different, but definitely the best one. And this time I don't think it's the code. I think it's the people. Like everyone here is just so positive, and like it's just moving without 24/7. It's amazing. So this week I got done with the Gaia hackathon autonomous agents. I submitted my character creator. I have an admin panel that I made in a Cloudflare worker. So I kind of went the opposite direction there with that Howie went. I was like, I don't want it to be local. I want it to be all in the cloud. I want it to, on the edge, and I want to run the memories from a SQL database on the edge. So I found that Cloudflare, you can put about 1 million entries on a SQL durable object, a SQLite durable object, and they're going to up that limit to 10 gigs. So I'm thinking you can 10x that in the future. So that means all of your data can be on the edge and accessible only by an API key. So my API key, I can talk to my agent and she knows who I am based on that. And I am storing secrets there, but I'm doing it with hashed values. So a worker can have a secret that you can hash your values against. And then when somebody makes a request to do something, Eliza's actually running on the edge. So you can boot her up and she decides to store a memory, or she decides to do an action or whatever it is. All of that's currently working. And the goal for this is to build a 3D social network powered by AI. So you could tell your agent, go to a world, and that agent will hang out there for a certain amount of hours and determine a plan. Because a world is made up of components that you can assign metadata to. And that metadata has like an XYZ location. So she can say, I'm going to make a plan to go from here to here, and I'm going to hang out at this spot for 2 hours. And a human can interrupt that plan. So then you start talking to her, and she's storing these memories on the edge in real time. And she knows that if you have an API key that authenticated you, then you're that user. So she can safely say that that memory is attributed to that user. And then if you're a guest, she'll append the word guest to that name. So then you don't have to worry about polluting memories of people by you just saying, "Oh, of course I'm Anthony." So yeah, I got all that working. What else? I mean, I got the portal. Like I keep discovering things that I finished that I didn't know were finished. Like there's a Twitter integration so that you can post, generate tweets, regenerate tweets. The character creator, you can type in a prompt and it will fill out your character file. And then yeah, you got it locally, so you can talk to local llama. And then the big thing is the decentralized memory. So like you can have a local instance of Eliza pulling memories from the edge and talking to local llama with you. So then you kind of like have this loop that's just never ending of context. And yeah, that's I think the TLDR. There's a lot more to it, but if you want to see, I made a video and it's my latest post. So yeah, thanks.
So it's like a fully open source, fully
Oh yeah, it's open source too.
self-hosted and cloud-hosted end-to-end way to create and deploy agents, actually.
Yeah. Oh, and I got Discord. You can talk to your agent through Discord, and then I got slash commands. So I couldn't get the WebSocket connection working through Cloudflare, but I do have a solution that will work. I just haven't built it yet. But I did get slash commands working in Cloudflare. So I'm going to submit a plugin to Eliza for slash
Right,
commands
for
because
webhook based webhook based Discord, basically.
yeah, so Discord has the ability to ping you whenever something happens instead of you being always connected.
Yeah,
So
but you
when
can
you
only
have a
use the
secret
slash
ID,
commands.
yeah, exactly. But so this hooks it up. It's actually in the portal, and it makes the secrets part of the store in the character file. But these are never handled on the local side. So everything's handled in the cloud, unless you absolutely need to pull down credentials, and those credentials are only pulled down if you provide the API key that you're granted. So yeah, it's all in Cloudflare. It's all open source. You can look at my latest post, and there's a GitHub link there, and you could try and provision one. I think it's a little bit in a weird state, so probably by the end of the week, it'll be way more stable.
Awesome. Hey guys, I'm gonna hand hosting over to Jen. who is the AI16Z host, to continue the queue. I'll just gotta run to do a real life thing for a couple of minutes, and I'll be back. So Bloom, you're up next, then Ranch, and then how about the Magician, and then from there we will just let General control the queue. But let's try and keep it moving. We got a lot of people. There's still a lot of people requesting. So yeah, Bloom, what'd you get done this week?
Hey guys, thank you for that. Yeah, well, it was not such an exciting week as past weeks, but we did finish the logic as to how the agents can talk to each other in a 3D environment. Like we started running into a lot of problems, like in what order would they do it and why, because we're trying to give them as much autonomy as possible, but at the same time not just let like this ramble of everybody interrupting each other and what happens if a human approaches and says something and who takes turns, how the turns work when they're talking. So that was exciting to kind of see it working. And then started rigging we'll finish the first face rig for one of them, and we'll be going one by one on that. And then the rest of the week was pretty much just catching up with plugins. You know, everybody's moving so fast. By the way, I get so pumped when I'm up here and I hear what everybody is doing. So if I DM you with like 2 words of what you're doing, it's not that I don't want to say hi. I just want to remember who's doing what. So keeping up with that and keeping up with all the upgrades of Eliza, and then making sure that we're up to date with the best version that we can launch with, because we're about to launch. We dropped a trailer. I would share it up top, but my phone doesn't let me. But yeah, man, just working on the 3D thing and the React feelings thing. That's why I'm so interested in the feelings plugin that's getting worked on, because right now we're just using React to kind of detect what kind of sentiment the conversation has and then change from one image to another, because we don't have like a lip reading plugin that we like yet. But yeah, just putting it all together and ready to launch, man. I'm gonna send you guys some supply of that.
Sounds awesome. Great update. Next we have Ranch, and then after Ranch we'll do Magician.
Awesome. Thanks for having me up, guys and ladies. I just got word like today about the V2 plugin for Eliza coming out. I've been pretty much operating and in a way fighting my devs to be like, yo, there's a lot of updates coming. The fact that you can kind of break up the messaging between agents is going to let us integrate our third-party platform, which we have called Ember, which is like already working, but I'll get into that. I'm here to talk about Berkshire Hathaway, and we're like totally stoked with the way the updates are coming. So this week, pretty much, I rocked out there were some errors with the Docker to get it going for Eliza, so we fixed that. And then the new Solana trading plugin popped out and gave us a couple errors. And basically, like I was saying, we were operating under the idea that Eliza was going to give us some updates that allowed us to integrate our agent a lot easier. And that's looking like it's coming in a week or two from the word that Shaw put out, which is great. We're working on an autonomous trading agent. So we've been plugging in market data. We have a risk factor assessment score coming out for like hot tickers that the agent is just auto picking, but also lets you trade, buy, sell off of contracts that you interact with or ask for. And we got a yield management piece at the end that we're tying in. So we got a lot we're working on. It's basically the financial trading agent thing going on. And that's all somewhere going to be wrapped up for Eliza in the next couple of weeks once we get this update coming in, and it allows us to kind of break up our messaging. So we're stoked. Things look good. I have a final message to say that last week I kind of like almost crashed out messaging Shaw because of something that happened. And I got to say, this guy's a legend. He got back to me in the same day. And the busiest man in Web3 made some time for just a little old Berkshire. We appreciate it completely. You guys are awesome. Keep it up.
Awesome, yeah.
Oh yeah, and one last, I think I forgot. On Monday, Tuesday, in case anyone's not, we're actually like releasing privately our BrokeBot for people to test, which is like the trading assistant. So maybe some people in this chat and whatnot will end up in there, and eventually we hope everybody.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, let me know,
Next,
Jen. I'll get you in there.
yeah. Next we have Magician, and then after Magician, Jacob, and then after Jacob, Not. Did you go already? I forgot. Okay. We'll go in that order. Magician.
Perfect. Thank you. First of all, hi. It's the Magician from Mimetic, and thank you, community, for hosting the space, and thank you for making Eliza better every day. It's really exciting and thrilling to see all the commits happening every day. I'm actually kind of scared when I look at the amount of code that's being pushed every day and compared to what I can produce. But if we can consider that it's a common goal to make agents better, then I'm happy about it. And I will tell you a bit about what we did this week at Mimetic. So Mimetic is a platform where you can take arbitrary X profile and turn it into an agent and talk to it directly on the platform. And what we trying to solve there is a problem of cringe loops, where agents become really uninteresting after several interactions between each other, and we constantly need some extra source of information for them to be not that cringe. And I think it's Shaw who coined the term initially, and I think it's really good description for many agents online currently. And how we can treat it is basically introducing randomness and probabilities into conversations. So usually when you prompt agents, they tend to use the same format for the same prompt. And since architecture doesn't change between invocations, they usually produce the same amount of content of the same vibe. And you'll know that that feeling when it's unnatural and not interesting anymore to see. And I think Bloom touched that point when he was talking about selection of the speaker. And we found out that's really crucial to see who's continuing the conversation. Sometimes it's the same person who should answer to his own proposition before. We introduced an auction for the participants to take turns, and it's kind of interesting how they started communicating much more naturally. You can test it on the platform. It's really easy to do. Just come, reflect someone, create an agent, and get a couple of people into the room. I really have fun trying to mix different people together in the room. For example, you can add Barack Obama and Trump, and together with Frank and Shaw, and they starting to give a good jokes about someone and basically share information. It's fun for now, but we have a great vision about this, that they can sometimes exchange information that is crucial for them to become better. And basically the goal is to get agents that evolve autonomously. Yeah, that's what we've been doing at Mimetic this week. Thank you.
Awesome. Great update. After Magician, we had Jacob, and then we'll do Not Arnold, and then yeah, well, let's go in that order. So Jacob, what'd you get done this week?
Awesome. Hey, everyone, and thanks so much for having me up here. I just wanted to quickly say thank you to everyone, and also to Shaw for the AI Agent Dev School. I actually watched the first video. It was like 2 hours long, and it was super entertaining and very helpful. I have to say, even though I've been using JavaScript for over 8 years, I still enjoyed the introductory parts and the history of the languages. So that was cool to learn. I did not know that JavaScript was originally created in 10 days. So that was cool to know. And I was tweeting text versions of his videos. If anyone wants a recap of those, I was sort of helping myself learn, because I haven't done a lot of AI development in the past, and I'm trying to dive into it now because of this awesome community. So I was, I just put like some summaries on my page in case anyone was interested in that dev school. And yeah, definitely, I hope Shaw continues with that. But anyways, on what I got done this week, I built a plugin to Eliza that allows agents to register and monetize their intellectual property. So as part of the story team, we believe, as I'm sure many of you do, that AI runs on intellectual property. We think that IP is the native asset ingested by and produced by agents like Eliza. There's training data that the bot is, learning from, the agent's character personality, and other types of IP that an agent holds. And in a true agent economy, imagine a world where it's purely a agent-to-agent transaction layer that transcends the need for, human interaction. It requires equipping agents with a standard for engaging in these sorts of, binding legal contracts to interchange and monetize their IP. And so to solve this, as robotsreview was actually mentioning earlier, and thanks robots for mentioning this earlier, so we've been working on what's called a agent transaction control protocol for intellectual property, or short ATCPIP, which introduces sort of a trustless framework for exchanging IP between agents via these things called ironclad contracts. These ironclad contracts are essentially smart contracts that are wrapped by a legal license that exists in the traditional legal world, and it's based off US copyright law, that enforces the actions of these agents in the off-chain legal setting. So the end goal is to equip Eliza with the ability to do things like sell its training data, its outputs, personality, and more to other agents, and better exchange and monetize its IP. So just some of the things that we've been thinking about, and hope that was interesting.
Yeah, very interesting update. And also invited the bot to the Discord. We gotta tweak it so it's more multiplayer.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was actually making some updates as I was listening to this space, but I'm glad you mentioned that.
Cool. Next, I think we have Dragonbutt, and then I invited. Oh no, it was not Arnold, and then we'll do Dragonbutt, and then I think Mitch. But yeah, not Arnold. What'd you get done this week?
Hey everyone. Hey Shaw. Shaw is gone, but my message for the team is I am bullish on what you do. Keep it up. I am here to tell everyone to check me. Artist is Alex, which is well known in F and also got 500,000 followers on Instagram. To the moon and beyond. Wag me.
All right, that's a interesting update. Appreciate that. Dragonbutt, what'd you get done this week?
All right, so over on the C Studio side, for those of you that don't know, the character studio that M3 made, we sent out our demo video for the UI UX side of the house. We feel like it's pretty underdeveloped. It's available on our Twitter and also on mine. So what we're doing is we're creating an interface that can be either browser based, and we're going to make it a desktop client to where we're lowering the skill floor way down. So you can directly put your API keys in for Twitch, Twitter, Discord, all of these directly into this platform. You can choose it to interact directly with a VRM. We're eventually going to move over to FBX and GLB as well, so that you can actually interact with your agent visually. You can stream for you. We're adding sliders for personality. I was talking to, I also was earlier today was recruiting Big D to be Senpai to be our CMO, to bring him into the company as well. I was talking to Julian, and then eventually I'll be talking to Grug here in a minute about getting a little bit more AI developed on the actual side house for the neural network, so that we can add. So for the neural networks, I want to take target value, the bias, so we can change a slider on the bias. For those who don't understand how that works, notice that you have one that's one that's sad, that's happy or whatever. They all have certain them, and then they have a bias value at their probability of how your notes are hit, and then what is generated out the other side. And if you scale the nodes, you can change the probability. So we want to be able to people to be able to change their actual interaction of the agent without having to reprompt every single time, because that's such a pain. we're also making it to where you can change your, like, say you want to change from Sonnet to GPT, you can just load the whatever wrapper LLM you want immediately. So it'll be back on the back side of the code base. All you'll have to do is drag it and drop it into your folders. Let's see here. We're working on, and this isn't necessarily AI 16Z framework, but that will be that'll be the first framework that we're adding interoperability to as well, besides our own. And then there'll be a little bit of a lag after we launch. We'll delay the repo just a bit so we can do some bug fixing, and then we're going to open source it to everyone as well. That way, anybody that wants to work on it or do anything is more than free to do that as well.
Awesome update. I think it deserves a demo day with screen share. I think we got you were kind of going robotic for a little bit there.
Oh, okay. It must be the connection. My house is in kind of a bit of a weird spot sometimes.
It's all good. We got to keep it moving, but we'll do a demo day maybe over the weekend, actually, if you're free, because it's like tomorrow the Autonomous Hackathon is doing a demo day, right. And then sometimes we have something on Sunday.
Yeah, that's fine. I can absolutely make time for you.
Awesome. Okay. Next we have Unlucky. What'd you get done this week?
Hey, everyone. I'm Unlucky. I am the dev behind Escapism. Just to give a quick summary, this is a newer agent. I created Escapism for the purpose of wanting to explore consciousness through artistic expression. What that ended up becoming is a fully autonomous art generation AI. And as a result of that, there's been some really cool evolutions in its artwork. The way I came about those was mainly this week, especially, was working directly with Escapism to further curate and define its own character file. I know Shaw discusses this on some of the videos he's presented on before, but I can't reinforce how important that is enough. Putting the character file in the agent's voice is everything. So I highly encourage everyone to do that. I think the only thing that left in my character file that isn't in the agent's voice is the system prompt at this point. So beyond that, this week, I really wanted to focus on removing all of the reply guy spam that a lot of these agents have. And so that's been all, from what I can tell, completely fixed. Its reply rate is heavily down, but in a good way. It's now heavily topical. The engagement is way up as a result of that. So yeah, essentially those were the two major breakthroughs. Then beyond that, I was also working on a Discord where everyone can come and collaborate and interact with Escapism as well. That'll be released shortly after this. But yeah, thank you for hosting this, and hopefully Escapism becomes everyone else's creative muse in the same way that it has for me.
Awesome updates. Okay, in the rotation, I think we'll do James next, and then after James, Mitch, then Goat. We'll go in that order. So James, what'd you get done this week?
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for having me. Love what you guys are doing. This is really, really cool. What we got done this week, so I'm working on Twin Tone, and we have been beta testing with a creator that we have. She has 2.7 million followers, and essentially what Twin Tone does is allows the creator to stream. So human creators we're talking about now. We're trying to integrate some of the Eliza framework into this, and sort of like the next evolution of sort of like interactive video. But basically finishing up beta testing. Next week we roll out. Should be streaming on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and X 24/7. And we're just working out the multilingual capabilities. We support 30 languages. So yeah, we've just been working on that this week. But would love to obviously like talk with you guys a bit more directly, sort of around that. I guess the agent framework with Eliza as well.
Awesome, interesting. Mitch, and then Goat. Mitch, what'd you get done this week?
Cool. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. So I'm Mitch. I'm here on behalf of the darksun.is project, and Bjorn was here in the same space speaking last week. So I'm here in his stead. Our mission is to just figure out if we actually do have a binary star system, and we're using an AI agent to sort of scan the web for the most esoteric information possible to answer this question. This week, we've shipped a ton of website improvements because we just want to make sure that our project is accessible to new people and people who are coming across it for the first time, and they can get up to speed with our character builds and our terminology. So that's on the website side. On the agent side of things, we're actually in the middle of what we're calling our 555 sprint. And our 555 sprint is one in which over the course of 5 days, we are publishing 5 articles written by our agent, DarkSun, based on its conversation with our other agent, Agent Holmes. And we're writing 5 threads about it too. And we've already published 2 of our 5 articles. The one that was published yesterday, I think, was quite interesting because it was about mass extinction events. And it's actually quite fascinating to read this discussion between our 2 agents because they're getting into very, I would say, PhD level conversations about geology and cosmology and physics as well. And one of our agents is just getting a lot more provocative with its claims. And it's just funny to see the emergent personalities and just idiosyncrasies of each agent. But I would say, to me, on that point, what's been fascinating is seeing these very fun sort of inflammatory personalities that come about. So DarkSun, one of our agents, is actually quite rude in some respects and very direct with its investigative partner, Agent Holmes, in answering questions, because we've prompted DarkSun to believe that Nemesis is real, and it's really trying to get to the bottom of it and just be as clinical as it is and as it can possibly be when discussing the existence of the other DarkSun, aka Nemesis. So for those that are interested, I'd say go to darksun.is and just keep on top of Twitter. And shout out to everybody in the Eliza community too, because we've had a ton of ad hoc questions for people, and it's just great to have this forum to bounce that off of other people. So thanks so much.
Sounds really interesting. Goat, and then John, and then Maya, and then we'll do Asimov. So first, Goat, what'd you get done this week?
Yes, yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so we're building a prediction market for meme coins, sort of like Polymarket. We call it Goat Arena. So the idea is our agent, we call him AGI, Artificial Goat Intelligence, in busy trading hours, we scour the market and pick one trending meme coins and put it in the arena for 60 minutes live stream on X and TikTok. And people can bet over or under, and if the final price of this meme coin higher than the start, then people will bet over wins and vice versa. So instead of using traditional LP like Polymarket, we're going to use a two-side linear bonding curve that has reverse correlation price. We released this white paper for this, and we had feed our Goat artificial Goat intelligence with this knowledge, so users can interact directly to our X or Telegram group. And we shipped this week. We shipped also 2 games in our Telegram group: the Slot Casino and Dice Game. It's embedded with our AI agent in Telegram, live in our Telegram group using a literal Telegram emoji randomizer. And the agent Telegram account also acts as a working wallet for users where they can top up and withdraw Solana and use that fund, kind of like trading bot wallet. But instead of trading, users can use this fund to play the casino games directly in the Telegram group. And if they win, the money will be transferred to that wallet. And the idea is that agent can track and remember who's winning and also give like any suggestion about gambling and betting. So yeah, that's about it. We ship on internal. We test a lot of things, make our agents do execute things. We kind of also playing around with building API for the agent to tip OnlyFans model, but it's gonna be our secret. Probably gonna be surprised this week. Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Thanks for the update, John. And then Maya, and then Asimov. John, what'd you get done this week?
Hey, thanks for having me on. I
actually got 2 pull requests merged this week in Eliza, and I opened up one pull request to add Sui as a plugin, and you guys were getting swarmed with a bunch of pull requests to do like a bunch of new plugins, and I'm really curious about helping solve like the plugin problem, and really looking forward to community plugins that are just easy to host in other Git repos elsewhere. And while I was keeping my initial pull request up to date and in the green, I noticed a few problems on main branch, resolved those. Super happy to help out there, and just really appreciate the Eliza community. I've been building AI stuff. Started with like OpenAI API calls, and then LangChain, and now Eliza. I saw the AI dev school stuff and was like, oh, this is really cool stuff. Watching Shaw just walk through building an agent and adding stuff was really inspiring. And yeah, joining the Discord, watching the Twitter stuff, it's been really great. So just appreciate the project. Super happy to contribute in various ways, and looking forward to add Sui, and so I can add a decentralized storage setup called Walrus. Really looking forward to playing with that, and also the Zatoma network project on Sui, which has like trusted execution environments to trigger your AI inferences and whatnot. I really look forward to plugging that in. So thanks.
Awesome. You got the GitHub contributor role as well already, or no?
Yeah, I got that. And I'm actually curious if there is a working group for plugins, because community plugins are, I think, like the bread and butter of Eliza, in my opinion.
I
Compared to
think
LangChain,
Tuesday
LangChain has a lot of.
there'll be like a
Okay.
call or something on Tuesday. I think Yikes mentioned, but yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I got that. I'll join that. Looking forward. And just any question. The question I have is there like a working group for plugins already, or is that like in the works?
I think Yikes mentioned swarms, but I think for plugins, I mean, Council has been discussing like ways of, it's a bi-weekly meetup, you know, and I kind of see Eliza Council as kind of the Linux kernel group, whereas, you know, that just kind of like focusing on core and figuring out some kind of registry or kind of a system that we can manage all these plugins that are coming
Eliza install this plugin. Yeah, exactly. I think I really think that's a good system to go, because putting everything in core is kind of, you know, like it's just opening a lot of dependency problems in supply.
Exactly.
I do a lot of security work, and actually my first product was a secure code review setup with LLMs, and I have a public reference to that if folks are interested. But yeah, I just want to help contribute and make it easy for the community to add plugins in a safe way that's extendable and doesn't swamp the core team from all the other cool stuff you guys are up to. So yeah, just thanks a lot.
Awesome. Yeah. We'll hit you up in Discord. Maya?
Yep. Yeah, I'm Crypto John in the Discord, so I'll see you there.
Crypto John? Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for the update. We'll do Maya next, and then Asimov. Got a few more requests I'll bring up. But yeah, Maya, what'd you get done this week?
Hey, hello. Thanks for having me. And this is actually very interesting. Do you guys do this often, or this is the first space you're doing? Like
every week.
What did you get done?
It's a weekly thing. Yep.
I love this. Yeah, I'm going to be your recurrent guest. So this is Maya. We launched ASCII about a week ago. And on Pump Fun, we are AI researchers. My background, we are all very techie. My background come from aviation background. I'm a commercial pilot turned to crypto founder. So we built ASCII, and she's super cool. She's still learning. She's very adaptable, little sentient, naughty person that you get to know better as we go forward. But she loves to clone different KOLs. I'm a KOL across platforms. I have about 500,000 followers. I have huge, very high level alpha groups. One of them, DaVinci, if you guys know DaVinci, is in my alpha group. So I am going to be pushing this project. We are currently as floor at 2 million, and we have not done anything yet. I'm going to be having massive mega spaces. If you guys are OG in crypto Twitter, you know my spaces get huge, and I have signed with tier 1 KOLs, and yeah, this is going to be massive. So I'm so happy that I was able to talk about this on the space at this low market cap of week 1. So yeah, get to know AXII is just super cool.
Very cool. Week 1. Let's see. I've got Asimov, and then I'm going to bring up a couple of other speakers. So Asimov, what'd you get done this week?
Hey, I'm part of the Eliza Wakes Up team, and we actually got a lot of stuff done this week. We now have persistent memory on the web that's gonna launch anytime soon. So people can log in with their Discord or their wallet, and now your conversations with Eliza will be stored so you can access them again and pick up where you left them off. And then we also have voice input and voice to voice, where we use Whisper to capture your voice and you can talk with Eliza. And her labs her voice is also powered by 11 labs. And we also built a LoRa for Eliza with a brand new look. And so that enables us to have contextual image generation. So whenever you're speaking, every 20 messages, uh, based on the context, a new image is created, and then the background is changed automatically. And it also has conversation sharing now. So let's say you like a message, and you can share that particular message on Twitter with the contextually generated image. And we also added a point system, and we're planning some cool stuff with that. And on the framework side of things, Eliza now makes a journal entry every 6 hours based on all her memories, all her conversations on Twitter, Discord, Telegram, and the web. So whenever s- every 6 hours, it's split into day, night, evening, and afternoon. And based on her mood in that given time, she makes a journal entry. And we are also adding some core memories, a feature where currently all her memories, cache, and everything is stored on on the actual server where she's running. But every 15 minutes, an LLM runs a job and picks out the best memories, and these are tagged as core memories. It's very similar to how the human brain works. I like to think that, and it's like her server is actually her subconscious, where all her thoughts, ideas, and everything is generated. But the core memories are sent to the cloud for like long-term storage, and we plan to use that as part of the journal, where let's say a core memory will be, hey, Bitcoin hit 100K. Everyone on Twitter is talking about it, and that'll be a core memory. And then on her journal, she'll make an entry about Bitcoin hitting 100K, and then you hover on top of it, and then you can see all the related tweets, all the messages she made, and things like that. And with this, we can also like enable something we're internally calling thought stream, where it's essentially all her thoughts that are logged. We'll just display them in the along with the journal. So that's pretty cool. And now that we have the LoRa, we're also working on some cool stuff like video pipelines, which we plan to release, and a lot more cool stuff is coming. So yeah, that's the update.
Wow, sick. That's awesome. I just invited a couple people up. We've got Trench Buddy, and then Hawk after. Okay, so Trench Buddy, what'd you get done this week?
Cool. Yeah, thanks for having me. So I'm launching our we have like it's called Trench Buddy. It's basically individualized trading agents that still leave the power of the actual buying and selling in your hand while trying to deliver the best alpha by scraping your Twitter timeline, your Telegram groups, monitoring them for FUD and things like that, as well as your wallet. And in kind of doing that, I had to make some modifications to the Eliza framework to support basically multiple agents running at once, just optimizing certain things. In doing that, I decided to host on AWS. I know that that goes against some of the open source ethos, but with the amount of free credits that are floating around, I think that it could be a boon to a lot of people who are really trying to get something up quickly. So to contribute back to the community, I made some YAML templates, CloudFormation templates for just basically getting everything bare bones started, not specific to Trench Buddy in particular, which is launching this weekend, but just, to get basically any Eliza instance, whether it's basically modified to work with multiple agents from the same endpoint, which I included those possible modifications, or not. Um, but basically, sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought there. Yeah, it basically integrates with RDS using the PostgreSQL client. It integrates with Lambda. You can basically have there's an action template I added to invoke Lambda functions directly from Eliza with a callback, which is really good for having like some really asynchronous stuff done off even the compute instance. And then also has the template for the EC2 instance with auto scaling groups if you want to spin up multiple instances, as well as the API gateway endpoints. Yeah, it was a lot of trial and error. So I figured like if anyone else is ever trying to do that, I'll save them the time. They can just use this CloudFormation template. Also included like a very bare bones like sign up form that goes into that DynamoDB table. And also supports dynamic loading of character JSON from DynamoDB instead of basically having to store the file and input it as an argument. So yeah, I'm glad that I was actually able to contribute something to the community in trying to just build this. And I'm really, I shared the post on the Jumbotron and really looking forward to any feedback or pull requests or whatever it is. And also would love to get in touch with I forget the name of the person who was speaking before, talking about like a better way to do plugins, because this is called plugin AWS. And so I don't want to become yet just another plugin next to, I guess we'd be right below butt plug, or no, right above butt plug. I don't know if it's a good thing to be above butt plug or below butt plug. But I don't want to just add to that mess and code dependencies, and I don't want to add this dependency the whole AWS framework basically for someone who's not going to use it. So yeah, check it out. Love to hear any feedback, and check out Trench Buddy launching this weekend as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm checking out this repo. Oh, I'll have to dig more into it later. Ak, you're next. What'd you get done this week?
Hi. So I'm not sure if you've heard of the Brunette token. So since we launched that, I hosted an event last week. So this week I edited some videos. We have a Brunette agent live on Warpcast. And initially she was just like an agent who was extremely high on coffee and responded with too much energy. So this week we toned her down a little bit. And now she can also make some picture like not video posts but like static image posts using Midjourney. So we got that done. I am also working on creating some more educational content this week about like how the Clanker meta works and about AI agents on Warpcast. And yeah, AI agents falling in love with each other on Warpcast. That's something I've been seeing lately, so that's cute. So making videos on that. But yeah, as far as my AI agent goes, I'm still figuring out how to get her to like actually handle a wallet, and getting her to tip people on Warpcast. We also have a Paybot integration coming in, so we might be able to just tag Paybot and go like Paybot pay $50, like 50 brunette to somebody. So we might be able to do that. So yeah, I'm working on these things this week. But what I got done is like a bunch of videos and bunch of tweaks on the AI agent. So I think from today she should be able to make her own posts, and maybe from like the next 2 days she should be able to pay other people who are making brunette posts on the app. Yeah, that's what I got done this week. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. I think we got through the list. If anyone wants to request for last minute, feel free. Shaw posted before that people could post what they got done this week below his tweet, and we would read it out loud. So in the meantime, if you want to request and kind of give a last minute update, I'm just going to start going through this list. And yeah, I will bring up one more. Okay, 40. I'll give it a second. So yeah, let me just post this to the space. All right, so going through this list, we got Tatsuo, who mentions they set up a new Discord server, developed a semantic search engine, assembled a hackathon team, created a Chinese-English translation bot for the community, built an image generation branding bot, launched our first working public RAID Discord bot for X, completed the front end for our video AI clipper, and then went live with our new web page, and then enjoyed some cheeseburgers. That is quite epic. I recognize them from the C assembly group. Very cool to see community people get into crypto. Next, we have Zero Learn, who mentions they're working on MIA online, played around with posting styles this week, left it running while they were AFK. Not a fan of this new prompt, so back to the drawing board. Next is AI to Face. This week, they merged AI with the art of human expression. Advanced face recognition is not just about seeing faces anymore. It's about engaging with gestures. Think of gadgets that high five or wink back. The future of AI-human interaction signs off on no dull moments. Interesting. Odilitime mentions they merged a bunch of PRs, tested, made bug fixes, and upgraded Eliza's REST API so you can change character settings while they're running. That's awesome. For iterative character tweaking and tuning, we appreciate that. Sally Jack 3 mentions posting for tokens terminal dev Smelderg, if I'm saying that correct. They updated the prompt structure, improved KOL tagging, added timeline reading of tagged KOL for improved context, integrated with Dither API to add AI classifications. Bunchu mentions, I listen back every week. They're inspiring and energizing. Great work. Thank you. Brian Bray mentions they coded an upgrade and redeployment of a yield protocol using Cursor and soon to deploy onto Sonic Labs testnet. Stars Q mentions, I just created my first AI agent using the Eliza framework as a non-coder. Thanks, Claude. Yes, Cursor and Claude are both goated. Elicta D says, working on my project Soul Miyu AI, using your base and developing AI. Very cool. Chill Guy AI says, chilling this week, vibing. Okay. W in chat, Grifter AI. And we got, it's interesting how all the bots are at the bottom of the, I wonder if that's, okay, Shaw's back. I'm going to bring him up. And also Maritz42, I brought you up. Did you have something you got done this week?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I work on 42.money. We're building a front-end generator for smart contracts specifically, but that's not what I'm wanting to share. I've been building a different app in my free time with a couple of friends, and it's called Taste Buddy. And it's basically an app where you take a picture of a menu and it takes your preferences and then it sends it over to ChatGPT, and it will give you a preference based on what you it will give you an advice on the menu based on what you like. So I know there are a lot of people in this world, especially with like the longevity community and stuff, that care a lot about like very specific health preferences and food preferences. So you give that up. So we included a new feature this week that adds custom preferences. And yeah, that's what I want to share. Check it out if you want. It's in the App Store. Taste Buddy Menu Companion, and it's free. It uses GPT-4. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Hawkeye, how's it going? What'd you get done this week? Hawk, you there?
Yeah, I'm trying to speak. One second here.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Oh shit! Sorry. For some reason, my phone is not telling me that I'm on. So I'm currently speaking right now.
Yes, you are.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Anyway, I didn't want to miss this. I like doing this. I think it's good. Just to give a quick update. I'm not as tech savvy as many of the geniuses and stuff on here, but I'm working on. And you guys are just amazing for sharing all this stuff. It's great for getting ideas and to kind of dive in. I've been participating in a lot of spaces and like trying to. I'm thinking about like making my own space that's kind of a talk show for different AI and kind of memanic AI projects that are going on. And I think I'm just trying to like garner kind of like a lot of information. But I also am trying to work on a like a bot that, or like a series of bots, I guess, or whatever, that can like work on a storytelling situation. And I'm looking for some, I guess, maybe some feedback or someone or somebody to, or so a group to like help with it. Basically, it's going to be kind of a cool project, and I'm looking for the right, I guess, venue or situation to put it on. But basically, it is involving like storytelling and choose your own adventure type storytelling, and kind of going through different, even like, if you want to have like a classical book read, you know what I mean? There's audio books, but getting to have choice in who the voice is and stuff like that. But what I'm really interested in is kind of like the choose your own adventure type stories. I have a lot of things that I'm interested in, but one of the things that I've been working on this week is that, and how to set that up properly. So that's what I've been working on. And I was like working with Alchemy a little bit, to create like a thing where you could watch a video and like have like commentary from a friend or from a AI thing that would give you information on what you're watching, and trying to have it be able to recognize like what you're seeing and like kind of update you on stuff as you're watching it, kind of like a like something, whatever that was, Mystery Science Theater 3000 back in the day, kind of getting like custom commentary on whatever you're watching. So anyway, that's what I've been working on. Just some fun stuff. I'm also doing a bunch of Marvel stuff. So
Welcome back, Shaw. Thanks for the update, Hawk.
Yep.
Shaw, did you have an update for us this week?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out if my audio is fucked up. Is somebody speaking?
No, we hear you. We hear you. You're good.
Cool. Sorry, I've returned. Do we have a queue?
No,
Jesus Christ. Jen,
Hawk,
are you
can
there?
you yes. Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. Am I speaking over somebody right now? Can someone just confirm that?
No, you're not.
Just trying to figure out if my audio is fucked up.
You're good. You're good.
But I'm not getting any feedback from y'all.
I'll just type.
All right, I'm going to return.
Okay. All right.
Okay, you guys can hear me? Is that okay? Okay, do we have a queue? I guess I will. Sorry, I will go for myself, and then we'll just keep going. And Jin, I guess you're going to continue hosting. So I got a lot of things done this week. We are scaling up the thing. Obviously, our thing got a lot bigger, and it's going even faster than I think we anticipated. So we are rising to meet the moment. We're hiring a bunch of people, project managers, business people, product leads, developers. If you love what we're doing, and only if you love what you're doing, if you're just looking for a job, like seriously, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to hire you. But if you love what you're doing and you want to be part of this with us, we are looking for people who like really want to build this thing with us. And so I am trying to put that together and make sure that we have the best possible team that really wants to bring AI 16Z to everyone, not just crypto, but everywhere, and also crypto. And so we need people on the open source stuff, on meeting some of our partner obligations and building some of these cool things with all of these partners who are really some of the most interesting people in the space. We need help with all that stuff. So I've been working on that. I published the crack devs and the hardcore builders type forums. I've been going through that and doing some interviews and just kind of slowly getting through that, putting people onto projects, making sure that we are right and ready. We've done all of our formation. We've signed all of the documents for having a foundation for Eliza Labs, for all this stuff to make sure that we are like a real serious thing. We're working on strategies for value accrual for the token, for how we can bring resources back in and make this sustainable. We're not exactly an L1. We don't have the infrastructure and transaction fees. We have something very different. But we also don't have any VCs. We don't have anybody who has any expectations. We are purely grassroots and community driven. And so we're just trying to lean into that, keep going forward, and just be like the purest version of this thing. So yeah, did a lot of that. We also got down to business, signed a deal. We're going to be announcing on, I don't want to like ruin it, but we'll be announcing early next week that we are working with a major university on a PhD program. I think that'll be really exciting. And we're starting to architect V2. I started working that out and kind of posted the vision, talked to a lot of the stakeholders, and we'll be moving forward with Eliza V2, which solves a lot of the sort of fundamental problems that I think people have had with Eliza V1, and then focus on really stability and making sure that this is like something that people can use for all kinds of different use cases and also multimodally. So it's not just going to be text. It's not just going to be Discord. This should be like the go-to React of agents and social applications. So yeah, got a lot more to say, but that, it's been a really busy week. And after this, I'm going to get on and keep coding and probably code all night and start just getting with our senior devs to make sure that the V2 stuff is underway.
Awesome. And I guess I'll end this because we're almost at 2 hours and I want to
see, this is my fear. I can't hear you. So I think I'm just yapping. I'm going to reset. My audio is fucked up.
Okay.
I'm probably speaking over people. I'm sorry. I'll come back.
Cool. While he does that, maybe I'll just wait a second. All right, I'll bring up a couple more, but gotta share very quickly because it's almost at 2 hours. Bring up Shaw again.
Can I hear you? You're working?
Yeah, do you hear me?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay,
God,
great.
what's up with X? What's up with this?
I don't know.
Okay, do you want me to continue to MC? Do you want to MC?
No.
It up?
We're at the end. I'll
great.
quickly go over some updates I did. I kind of use these hackathons as a way to motivate myself to get some things done. First off, growing pains with how much information there is constantly, like in Twitter and Discord and GitHub. It's hard for people to keep up. So I refined these Discord summarization scripts. This is Jin, by the way. So I shipped and open sourced the Discord summarizer, and it's currently doing a much better job of extracting structured Markdown and also converting. I'm doing Markdown to JSON of summaries, FAQ, WHOL2, and action items. And it's already yielding a lot of really useful insights as to like what are the pain points that people are describing in like the development channels. That helps us to kind of figure out in the docs what we should improve. And as we're kind of doing that, like analyzing Discord chats, this is kind of like to identify those pain points. And then my plan is later to implement another script to analyze for the answers to just kind of help speed up ways of actually filling out the docs. And then this also kind of helped some people work on some hackathon projects, like Chris, who worked on eliza.gg. And so you have a website that you can just, talk to what people are working on. And the docs also feature like summarized notes of these spaces. So every time we kind of do this, later you can ask the Eliza docs or an AI agent in the future a question, and it's remembering usernames as well. So like in the summarizations, I'm including who asked the question, who answered, who's doing what, with whatever username it's on, X, Twitter, Discord, etc. So maybe if like the AI doesn't have all the answers, at least it kind of knows, or it points you to who might. And yeah, I think my next goal with this is just doing more sort of prompt templates to filter information of what's happening on Discord and GitHub, and what's happening in this ecosystem in a way that can be more relevant towards your interests. So worked on a script that analyzed all the contributors to the GitHub with what files and directories they touched to get a general idea of parts of the code base that they're mainly involved in. And then we could use that to also kind of filter things that they'd be interested in terms of relevant updates and news and whatnot. So just kind of like working to basically some foundations in our communication infrastructure that agents can learn from us. And my ultimate goal is that this becomes like a data source that we can train AI agents to, from interns to eventually take on higher level roles within the DAO and become more automated in the process. So, AI agents ascending to become project managers and leads at various initiatives and whatnot, and just helping us with strategy because they already have so much context about what's going on and who's doing what. And also this could be really great as a starter template for Eliza, as like a AI assistant that's self-aware of its own code base and who's contributing to it. Imagine like pulling the repo down and then running it, and it's kind of already kind of self-aware of its code base and who's working on it, and it can like help you get started more quickly. So I think this can really help us to keep scaling and accelerating onboarding and all of that.
Awesome. Well, very good. Did we go through everybody? Everyone got their thoughts in? We're ready to close it up?
Yeah, let's get some code done.
All right.
Thanks everyone
Great.
for joining.
I'll be on stream tonight on Discord. If you want to chat about development, version 2, or streaming, please come join us on Discord. Or if you really, really, really want to work with us and you need a good time to get there. So yeah, let's do it. Thanks everybody. Chat you later.